All right, let's bring in our panel right now. With us here in studio this week, we have former state party chair for the Indiana Democrats, Robin Winston, 2016 vice chair for the Indiana Trump campaign, Tony Samuel, and two former state lawmakers. For the Democrats, former state rep Terry Austin, and for the Republicans, former state rep Mike Murphy. So, Mike, let's talk about these upcoming presidential debates. What do you make of this coming together as quickly and unconventionally as it did without the debate commission?
Well, there's advantages for both camps, and there's probably an advantage for the public as well. You know, for Biden, it gives him a chance to shore up numbers that seem to be weakening somewhat in the polls. If you look at the New York Times poll a few days ago,
you think that's why he wants to do it early?
Oh yeah. You know, regain the momentum. For Trump, it gives him an opportunity to distract people from all of his felony trials early, and for the public, they get to see these guys. You know, they want to make sure they're early, because we don't know if they're both going to be alive for the general election. So let's get this done quickly.
Well, that trial could wrap up very soon. There's a lot of factors at play. So no audience much earlier in the calendar than they've been before, as we pointed out. So, Terry, what do you think we'll see at this debate next month?
Well, I would expect the president to lay out the evidence of his economic package and what's working, where he wants to try to address over the, you know, not only just in the campaign, but during the remaining time of his tenure. As far as what you can expect out of Donald Trump, it's like a box of Cracker Jacks. You never know what prize is going to be inside. So that's my anticipation, is we'll see some, here's why you should vote for me, and then let's hope everybody behaves.
I suppose we might hear a lot more than just here's why you should vote for me in this debate. Tony, what do you think it's going to be like?
Well, and remember that Donald Trump has been challenging Biden for quite some time now, and so Biden finally takes him up on it. It's very strange how quickly it came about, and with, you know, different rules than normal and without the debate commission involved. My thought is that either it won't happen. A lot of people are saying that, and this is just a ploy. You know, maybe it's the legal problems, maybe it's something else, but this way Biden can say, hey, I wanted to debate, and then it doesn't happen. Or it does happen, and I think then Trump has the advantage because the people care about the issues. Mike's right. Biden is losing the black vote, he's losing Hispanics, and he's losing young votes. So they're real concerned. So they have to do it for a couple of reasons to, you know, try to get some momentum back. I just don't think it's going to work.
Robin, what's your response to that? Is this about getting momentum back in the summer for the Biden campaign?
It's about maintaining momentum. The president is continuing to close the gap on Donald Trump in every poll that I've seen. So I wouldn't say that we're trying to get anything back. The bottom line is that the president wants people to know what he's done. And he wants it to be an unfettered audience. We won't have the cast of Ben-Hur in the audience booing and doing all they want to do like they did in past debates. These are in studios with people like you in a studio format. I think the American people will tune in and pay attention.
Let's talk about the race for governor as well. The race for governor, and really the race for lieutenant governor, is what's on everybody's radar right now. A lot of influential Republicans this week backing Mike Braun's chosen running mate, Julie McGuire. Mike, how do you see all of this playing out at the convention? What is the impact of someone like Treasurer Daniel Elliott or Secretary of State Diego Morales coming out in favor of McGuire this week on Braun's behalf?
Well, I don't think Elliott and Morales's endorsements mean a whit, quite frankly.
Although Morales was the guy at the convention a couple years ago who was kind of the
but I think
candidate.
there's a real effort by the organized Republican Party. There was a real effort to recruit people to run for delegate, so we have what we would generally call normal Republicans there voting in June. I think that worked. It's also, you can see a very high level of interest among Republican delegates, because once they got elected, they had to pay their fees by yesterday or the day before, and virtually all of them paid their fees, the vast majority. So there's going to be very few replacements, so to speak, during the next few weeks. I think that shows a lot of interest, and I think that also will change the dynamic of the convention from 2 years ago.
But certainly it could still be quite a fight on the convention floor.
Oh, it could be. I mean, you know, people are pointing to Julie McGuire's lack of experience, and certainly she's a new arrival, yes, in the legislature. But I would argue that she has virtually as much state government experience as Mike Braun. As much or more than Brad Chambers or Eric Doden. The only one she did not have as much experience as is Suzanne Crouch. I mean, so she is a fresh face. She's a smart lady. She's well-grounded, and I think she'll do fine.
More experience in office than Micah Beckwith, who she's running against in this race.
Absolutely.
Terry, at the same time, looks now as if Todd Rokita will be unopposed at the Republican convention, while Democrats do have a contested race for AG at their convention in July. Are you surprised that there wasn't a Republican challenging Rokita at the convention this year?
I am surprised because I know at least one person who is seriously considering challenging him and trying to line up support for it. So something has transpired. My sense is that the Republicans don't want to have two dogfights at their convention.
One fight is enough at the convention?
One fight is enough, and it's going to be quite a fight, as a matter of fact, so with the lieutenant governor's race. But I really think, somebody may change their mind and decide to jump in, but I was really surprised.
Yeah.
Maybe they're ready to dump him.
We'll see what happens. From my understanding, the deadline to nominate yourself is essentially passed, although I suppose anything could happen on the convention floor. Tony, how do you see these convention battles playing out here at the state level in a year where we may also see some tension at the national conventions, too?
Sure. Well, as far as Rokita goes, I think it's more because delegates and Republicans are happy with his performance. I think he's doing a great job as Attorney General. I think that shows. We did have two contested races 2 years ago for Secretary of State. We mentioned Diego, but also for treasurer. So, now we have one, and that's, it's going to be competitive. It's going to be maybe contentious. And in the end, we're going to have a good candidate. They're both going to be good candidates. And even Mike Braun said that, if they don't win, he's happy to work with, or he made it sound like he would be willing to work with Micah.
But at the same time, certainly a lot of endorsements coming out this week for Julie McGuire in what seems like coordinated fashion. Robin, you get the last word on all of this. What do you think these conventions will be like later this year?
Well, first off, 52% of the registered voters in Indiana are female. Our party broke the glass ceiling a long time ago, and we're nominating another woman again to run for governor, eminently qualified in Jennifer McCormick. These guys have a titanium reinforced with rebar ceiling if you're a female candidate to move up in their party. We broke through that a long time ago. So I think we'll be celebrating nominating a woman for the state's highest office who's eminently qualified, and we'll have a tremendous lieutenant governor running mate.
And also a woman for Attorney General in your party with two, both Beth White and also Destiny Wells in that fight for Attorney General in the Democratic Party in their convention coming up in July. What else are you watching here, Mike, as we move toward the convention here next month?
Well, I think, they all have a few weeks now to campaign, and if they do a good job, I mean, it's all about person-to-person contact. Most of these delegates have been delegates before. They're not unknown people. They're party regulars, party leadership for the most part. This Liberty Caucus, whatever they call themselves, up in Northeast Indiana, they were able to get some people elected, so they will not be silent. I still expect Julie McGuire to win. Remember, the last time we had a real contest for lieutenant governor was 1996, when Goldsmith, for some unknown reason, decided he was going to let the delegates decide. It turned into a free-for-all. Sue Ann Gilroy was supposed to be lieutenant governor, didn't get it. We ended up with George Whitwer, nice guy. I don't think Goldsmith ever talked to him during the entire campaign.
We'll see what happens.
It was